But all right, something else I want to talk about. We talked about the match of the night, which I agree was the Usos versus the Street Profits, and everyone's talking about the Street Profits, Andrew.
Don't do
And the
it. Don't
reason
do it,
why
Blake. Don't do it,
is
Blake.
reason why is a lot of people want them to break up. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't think there's a lot of people that necessarily want them to break up. I think it's more people, and this is where I'm at.
It's
I
Montez
get what
Ford, man.
and that's the thing. It's like I get you have to break them up if you're going to go that route, but I I don't even know if you necessarily have to do this in a sense that look, can he here's the thing. Like Montez Ford, I think has everything. Like I think he is a huge star in the making. They brought it up on commentary. I think maybe they've acknowledged it on weekly TV again. There's just things I don't remember. But like he's clearly bulked up. Like you can tell, like
Hmm.
he is setting up for this run. And I think once he gets there, I think it's going to be worth the wait. Like to me, he has everything. And I think that was one of the things that made that match so good was just his mannerisms, the way he plays off of, um, you know, his opponents and those kind of things. Like he is just so good, I think, at what he does. And now that's where we get to is which way do you go to get here? Because let's be honest, it's coming at some point. They're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think at the latest, Andrew, in my opinion, at the latest, it's going to be the draft. Like, because I think at that point, look, we were talking about this last year, right? Like, we thought they were going to split them up last year. And now I don't think you're going any further than the draft. Now, maybe it happens before then. Maybe it somehow ties into what happened, in this match. I don't know. There's a lot of things you could do with it. But um, I think he is just look, maybe we're talking about Montez Ford next year, or I don't even think it's the year after. I think next year, maybe. Like we're talking him as the money in the bank type guy. Like I don't know how quickly, they push him to the top, but I just look at him and I'm like, he has everything and
Yeah.
just given what they want in terms of entertainment, right? Like they always push like it's, entertainment. I mean, he is as entertaining as he gets, and I think in the ring he's great. So now to me, like the Montez Ford singles watch is officially on, and I think it's just a matter of when they decide to do it. So
I my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. I hate to disagree with you, man, because I genuinely like Ford and Dawkins together. And you wanna know what? I'm gonna start off by like throwing a little bit of praise to Dawkins' way because I feel like it's especially since these like conversations have started to come up more frequently now, you have seen him sort of turn it up in the ring. And this isn't like I'm not talking about like a past few weeks, like I'm talking about just over the past 4 to 5 months. Like Dawkins is like really like shown that he can go like I mean of course Dawkins could go in the ring. We all knew that, but I'm talking about like he's shown like a little bit extra, like he's showing like the high flying game, showing how agile he is, showing pulling out some different moves like that. Like when he like double hooks the arms and does like this like swing around like reverse neck breaker, like that thing looks cool as hell. And like I was saying, it's been real cool to see him doing some like over the top rope stuff, like straight up diving over the top rope. That stuff is real cool to see him do that. And I think Dawkins is starting to show that he can be versatile as well, and he can step out of that box and be a single talent also. And I think that see the thing with the thing with WWE is, and the thing why I am sort of worried for Dawkins is if they do go the singles route is because I think that they view Montez a certain way, and then they view Dawkins a certain way. And I
yeah,
feel like with Montez, they have already sort of given him sort of those test trial runs. Going back to that match he had with Roman Reigns, when that happened, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like here it comes. Like because I genuinely feel like that was like the test run for Montez. Like I
yeah,
feel like they put him in that moment just to see like what was going to go down, and he delivered. And I was like, here you go. Cause like you can see it, and I don't think it's gonna be the thing. I hope is that it doesn't turn into a thing where they need to feud and they feel like Montez needs to beat Dawkins. That does not need
yeah,
to happen. I feel like they can do something exactly what you said. Give them one matter of fact, if they're gonna do this is how I would prefer them to break up the Street Profits. If it's gonna, I honestly I would prefer if they stick together, and if you want to push Montez, and Dawkins could be right by his side, and you can if they think that Dawkins like won't be in like the world title picture, you can easily slide Dawkins in the Intercontinental title, US title. He doesn't have to be like pushed off to the side or casted off to the side,
Yeah.
just because you feel like Montez Ford is more what you're looking for in terms of a singles talent, right? I feel like if they are going to break them apart, I would prefer it be like you said on draft night, give them one big tag match, one big last tag match, let them go out there, do it all, and then you can sort of announce it on screen that one of them is getting drafted to the other brand, and you can finish it off like that. Like I don't need to see them turning on each other. I don't need to see no Otis Tucker. Like they need to have a singles match and one of them turns on the like. I don't need to see that because like, I feel like
Yeah.
they both are very capable of reaching that next level. And I feel like if you just like I'll always say this, bro. Like you like the, I'm not to like make it sound basic, but like this is pro wrestling. You can legitimately get behind anyone and make them into a big deal. Look at what they're doing with Theory. They're literally like essentially like forcing this dude into this main event spot. Like whether we like it or not, whether I like it or not, they are presenting him in that light. And I feel like you can do that exact same thing with either Ford or Dawkins. And of course, they so it seems like they're more leaning towards Ford. But man, like I do see that like star like quality thing. Like he already has it. Both of them have it. But I definitely do see what everybody is talking about with Montez Ford, and I have seen it for a long time. Like I always make that joke that like when he made that baby laugh on Raw, that was it. That was it.
That's all you
That
got to
that
do,
that
man. Just that's all you got to do.
that was the moment when they locked in on Montez Ford when he made that baby laugh, because that could have went so left. That baby could have broke out crying, could have scratched him, but he made some parents random child laugh live on TV. That was the moment, and he secured his fight in every WWE highlight package for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I just hope that they don't need to go the traditional route. Like I feel like because it always it seems like whenever they do these things, man, it just never turns out for the other guy. It
Yeah.
just never turns out well. So I hope that when they do this, it's like a thought out plan. Like I could definitely see just hearing from Montez and Angelo how they speak about one another in interviews and how they communicate with one another when they do joint interviews. It seems like they will be one to look out for one another if that were to be the situation. So I hope that it doesn't turn into a thing where one of them has to turn on the other one, and then we got to go this whole traditional route where they hate each other and all this other stuff, and then it just gets weird at some point. Like, and then one gets casted off, and the other one rises to superstardom and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely see it with Montez. I would not be surprised at all. Like within the next year, if he's competing for the world title, not even in the next year. Like if they do it at, like you said, at the draft, probably November or December or early 2023, he's competing for the world title or within that title scene. Like it's always great for me to see like see like a black talent, man, like just really recognize that potential, and but not even them recognize it, but for WWE to recognize the potential, because like I think it's real cool to see Montez sort of have this sort of spotlight put on him. Like from
Yeah.
from us, from the people that's watching it. I think it's gonna be cool to see it if WWE does it as well, because I definitely think he can hang with anybody that they got, man. So hopefully we don't need to go the route of them turning on each other, but that WWE gonna do what they gonna do. So I just hope that either way it turns out great for both of them, and they are like well, just since we speak about Monty, I just want to like finish it off. Like I hope that they don't like cast Dawkins off to the side. That's just what I hope.
Well, and like I think you can do very similar to what you did with the New Day, in my opinion. Like you just
Yeah,
you separate them because they're not on the same show. Which at this point, let's be honest, the draft is a sham. It doesn't matter. Like I mean, how many? That's the thing. Andrew. Next time we come on, we're gonna do 45 minutes of you and I just doing trivia on who's on what brand, because there's no chance anyone's gonna get half those right. But like you split them off if they're going different. They both have different directions. Okay, let's say one's in a different spot, another's in a different spot. And then you just bring them together when you need to. Like I don't think it's anything where you have to turn this into some big, huge story about
yeah,
now they hate each other for no reason. Because why would they? Like there's no reason for that. So I think it can be very simple. And again, I know they want to do it, if there's a way to get heat, but I just don't. I just don't think it's necessary. Like I think you split them off. Again, if you go the route in the draft, you split them off, put them on different shows, have something in mind for both of them. for at least a week, because we know beyond that, it may not be very far, but at least give them something to do. And I think that there's a clear, and I'm saying this, and I'm not just saying this because clearly, they are connected. But like to me, like Montez Ford is like the Bianca Belair, and like again, I'm not just saying that, but when you think about it, like if you're looking at WWE as a company, like she is the to me, like she is the perfect like face of your
Oh
women's
yeah,
division,
100%.
right? And I think
Company.
he's someone, yeah, and I think he's someone that can be that whenever, they want him to be. Like he is, because he is like the personable, like the personality, everything is there. And I think that's what, like, and like I said, that's why they're perfect for each other, I guess. Like when you think about just kind of how it all connected. If you're
Yeah,
like, okay, pick two people that would be great in a relationship together, boom, like Montez Ford, Bianca Belair, because there's just so many simple similarities. Like when you think about it, just from they have it, like they have that star presence. And I think that would be something again. Look, there's another story you can tell, but for the love of God, please don't put them in a storyline together on TV, because
please.
then I think you got issues. We've seen that before. But that's something though you can tell, right? At some point, it's like, all right, Bianca Belair did this huge moment for her, WrestleMania, all that. You can get there with Montez Ford, but there's just a lot of different things I think you can draw from that, and that's why I think that I do. I'm with you. Like, I'm not saying all this as a knock on Dawkins, because it shouldn't be, but
Yeah,
I think some people go that way. It's like, oh, well, Ford's clearly better. I don't think that's the conversation we're having. I think it's you want to give him that opportunity, but you also want to understand that I think Dawkins, like you said earlier, I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. 'Cause I think he's
yeah, he
gotten a lot
doesn't.
better,
He
and
doesn't.
he's very good. And it's just you have to find a different, way to use him if you do go the route with using Ford as a singles person.
I 100% agree. I do think that Dawkins definitely does not get that credit that he deserves. Like I said, man, he has stepped up tremendously in ring wise. Like he has done like a really great job in terms of like being able to stand out doing these tag matches like that he does with Montez. Because I feel like the thing coming out of their tag matches, man, most of the time, and they do have a really great body of work in terms of like their tag team history.
Yeah.
But I think like most of the thing that comes out, like most of the time in their tag matches, like Montez Ford, like damn near hitting his head on the roof doing these frog splashes, man, like that.
Yeah.
But like his hops are legitimately insane. But yeah, like I like you said, like just to repeat it again, I hope that it doesn't have to be this thing of where like they turn on each other. Like I really don't want that to be the case, but I can see that being the case just because like I think it also depends on how they want to present Montez as a singles talent. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I think that he is that good that he can do either heel or baby, like, and it will work.
Yeah.
But just seeing him, like even, bro, like you was talking about him and Bianca, like talking about people that could be faces of the company. Like I think Bianca's already there, but I'm talking about like as
Yeah.
far as Montez goes, like you talking about people like, hey, I need you to go do this breakfast show or on ABC or
Mhm.
CBS, and I need you to go on this big radio show. I need you to go represent the company at a whatever meeting, and well, do one of these different meetings with all these different suits. Like who people you looking at on the roster, you need to send to do that. Bianca Belair, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's that's how great she is, man. And she's very personable outside the ring as well on screen. And so the same thing with Montez Ford. So yeah, man, I definitely see it. I see the vision, Blake. I see the vision. I don't want the vision to come true, man, but I definitely see the vision.
Listen, you just said it. I'm not going to go as far as some people who are, comparing Montez Ford to The Rock. I don't think you want to put that comparison on him. But when you're talking about personality and the stuff you just mentioned of being a person that the company can send out to do all this stuff, and we know how much that means in kind of this era,
Yeah,
I think he's got what you need. So we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, I think that they've got a big star in the making in Montez Ford. But